Yo, 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 welcome back to Echo 4. Back at it again with yet another episode of Loki. This time we're reviewing episode 6. What was the episode name?
For all time.
For all time? Always? Or just for all time?
I think it's for all
Always.
time, always.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Always. Yeah, it's basically the slogan of the TV. But Loki episode 6. For all time, always. I'm your boy Ken-san. Once again, welcome to the channel. And before I get started, let me first introduce the rest of the crew.
I am Booty Monique.
Your boy, the Mad Prince.
And it's your girl Drea.
So yeah, this is the last episode of Loki. As you know, as we thought until they revealed something at the end, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so let's start off with first impressions. Who wants to go first?
Damn. Damn. A lot of betrayal, a lot of fuckery. Like if anyone was gonna kick off an eventual apocalypse, it would be Loki. Fuck me, boy. That's my impression. There you go.
My impression of the first episode, bro. Let me get it together.
First
Okay.
episode, baby.
I know. Ooh, the tequila hitting, but yes, the episode I was conflicted. There were some things that I liked. There were some things I didn't like. Something that reminded me of the last Star Wars movie. You know, the new trilogy. I was just like, bro, I ain't fucking with it. But there were some things that I'm like, and I'm still excited. But I think the last episode had some misses that I'm going to acknowledge. So, yeah, that's it.
I'm glad I'm not alone in that because at some points it felt very underwhelming. So at the end of it all, I felt very conflicted. Like, this is not a season finale where I felt excited, gung ho. I ain't jumping for joy. I'm like,
It didn't literally leave you at a high note.
It's not even a high. It's a cliffhanger. I am dangling. And it's like and I think that's one of the things that really got to me the most because I was really conscientious of time. And I'm like, this is stretching out pretty long. How are we going to wrap this up? I've been spoiled by WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier, how all these things felt like isolated incidents. And this is the one thing that really permeates literally throughout the universe. And so where it just ends. And I'm like, damn, I got to wait how long to get this picked up so I can see the actual conclusion? Because you don't get no conclusion. You don't get no closure. You just get more bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of goes to the theme of Loki. It's just mischief, the more mischief, and more chaos, the more chaos. Is kind of just the I would say maybe the show is kind of embodying the idea and persona of Loki, but at the same time, it deviates it away from what we're kind of used to when it comes to, okay, this is the last episode. They should be going all out. We're going to be, we're going to grab a crap ton of stuff that's awesome. That's going to carry our energy high and help us wanting more. But yeah, like you said, it's a little bit good amount of misses in here. Like it's I feel like they did have a cram a lot into this episode, which I wonder like why they didn't decide to maybe like make it a little longer, just to like fill in a little bit more voids in there. But overall, I liked it. It was good. It kind of fed onto the theory early on of like how Will was saying it's some guy in the cabin or in the hole.
Jerk it off.
Yeah. I was more or less right.
But except for the jerking part, but I mean,
well, we don't know when he did that. Before he got there.
He wasn't munching on that apple the whole entire goddamn time.
That's what Miss Minute was for.
Oh well, yeah, that
her ass popped up. I'm like, damn.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Oh, that's what we're going to start off with. So yeah, with this episode, they get to this void, like this middle like castle floating on a rock in the middle of the timeline, and they encounter the door, and then opens up. They go in, and who pops up? Mrs. Time. It's like, oh, I knew it. Never trust this. Never want to trust.
Never trust me.
I'm mad you called her Mrs. Time. I like that too.
This minute was in the middle of working the shaft before like you interrupted something good. What the
I'm
fuck
done. No. I'm picturing it in my head. I don't like this.
So he wasn't jerking off. He was getting jerked off.
So
all right.
is there a reason why she's called Miss Minute?
I hate it.
My nigga. Skate, motherfucker.
Oh.
God damn. I hate y'all.
I don't know how y'all could make that so fucking nasty.
Jaylee.
I hate it here.
Yes.
The ghetto.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot.
Think about Miss Minutes.
Woo!
All right, let me
Anyway, so yeah.
She been ticking and you be talking, I guess.
So that's TikTok.
And y'all still don't want a TikTok? I'm just saying. You still don't want one?
It's me if I do this every day. I say often. All right, I'm out. All right.
But yeah, so she shows up, tell him, hey, he who remains. And like, who? So they move on, and then lo and behold, we meet he who remains. And then he escorts them down, and then continue on from there. It switches to Renslayer in her office. And then she's about to like try to plan stuff, but who pops up to the door? Our boy Mobius came to confront her. He did they had their talk. He lunged at her. I don't know how she beat him so easily, but I guess she's a lot more dope in combat skills than we thought.
He's just an investigator and asks questions. She's been dealing asses for a while.
No, what's fucked up is that we found out that her ass is from Queens. I'm like, I knew you were trifling. I knew your ass was trifling.
So he doesn't mean that, y'all. We love niggas from Queens. Tom Holland. Tom Holland. Come on.
He's British.
Wait, no.
That's different.
Wait, I think he's from Brooklyn. But Captain America's from Queens, right?
No, Captain America's from Brooklyn.
Oh, and Tom
from a century, over a century ago.
That's Spider-Man. I'm just saying.
The Brooklyn Captain is from, it's not the Brooklyn now.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
You're
so
right about that.
yeah, they find out that, you know, going back to the little Easter egg they noted from before with the little pin that
I told y'all.
Renslayer knew apparently that there were variants, and she knew her variant, or knew of a variant of her. Well, I mean, I guess. Well, if they're all variants, is there like a source? I guess the unheard, unthought of question. Like, is there like a primary variant? Is there a prime version?
Unless you're self-absorbed to think that your universe is more important than everybody else.
No, there's a prime universe in Marvel.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there's one in DC. I just want to check if there was one in.
Yeah, like it's like there's a prime universe in the multiverse in Marvel. It's where most of the shit takes place. They call it the 616. So
616. I've heard it.
Yeah, and eventually there's some sort of convert. I mean, that's getting into comic shit though. But no, there's a primary universe in Marvel.
Okay.
But yeah, so with her knowing her variant, and then tying back to the episode before where she Miss Minute. she gave her different data that I guess was provided by He Who Remains. So when she left, I guess she says you go find the one in charge, or find freedom, find free will, basically, which they're leaning to, like the only one. She said before the only the one in charge has free will, or the one. Yeah. So when she's gonna find him, do you think that she is being manipulated by him to go on this mission to kind of, like, I don't know exactly, save him or find that version of him to kind of warn Well, it's not like going to lead on to later on, but it's. But I was going to say, what do you think her mission is, or her true like intentions that she's being sent for?
Does she have intentions though? Everything is orchestrated. She is being led down the path, something specific. So maybe she is going to meet another variant of He Who Remains. Unless she'll say fucking and do her own thing. It's kind of, I find it funny though. Miss Mint is supposed to be looking up other information for her, but she's doing a meeting with the Loki. She come back, hey girl, I got held up.
My bad.
Here you go. That's not what I asked for. But that's what he sent though.
She was wiping her mouth clean.
She was like, "Who's he?" And she's like, "Toodles." Boom. got another appointment.
I said too much, bitch.
I don't know what because I'm confused about Renslayer. Because sometimes it seems like she knows more than she lets on, but then there's times where it feels like she really don't know what's going on. So it's just like
she knew more, but just not enough.
Not enough. So maybe she's going to try to find the nigga that remains. And I don't know, like
that's a good title, the nigga that remains.
I don't know, like I heard some stuff about the comics, so it made like just knowing that information, I'm just like, oh, okay, well maybe she knows more than what she's saying she knows, and maybe she's just like going to go confront him or a variant of him, and I don't know. Like, I really don't know what about Renslayer.
I think Renslayer is in the middle of an existential crisis after finding out all that shit. So I'm thinking that she's going off to figure shit out. Whether or not that's gonna reveal itself in like a good way remains to be seen.
But do y'all actually really care about what happens with Renslayer?
No.
As it,
No.
it's,
I was just curious
but
about
at least
what
it's since an open ended that I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back. Like everything is really intentional.
At the very least, we know she's gonna be in the next SpiderMan movie. That makes sense. So
yeah,
in some way.
Her variant.
Oh. Oh my god! Oh, I'm just connecting it now.
That's what's going to happen here. They gonna show up, sister, and and you need a Roger for some odd ass reason. I don't know why. We're gonna be the Roger.
It would be the Roger. Oh, Steve Roger, but no.
Remind me.
But
I don't know why that reminded me of a line from Childish Gambino.
What?
Like, T and Tamara in my bed. I'm a smart guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy because that's kind of incesty if you think about it. But
Not kind of. That's legitimate.
Yeah.
You know, Rapper's trying to make that punchline.
I know, trying to make it work.
You don't have to put too much thought into it because they have it. So.
But yeah, I don't think he would send her to the void because his overall agenda was that I set all this shit up to find my successor, and it was never Renslayer. So I'm going to set her on a different path because I have no idea what's going to happen next. This is the point where I don't know what's going on, y'all. Let's fuck shit up. What y'all want to do?
So yeah, we'll get to that because that was interesting, that timing with that. But yeah, I just feel like she is kind of turning to the new Loki. She's now a henchman set on this mission that she doesn't exactly, I don't say believe in, or it's not her mission herself, but she or exactly know who she is or where her goal is. She seems a little confused to me on everything and scrambling. So, but I feel like it's kind of like she's set on a certain task by He Who Remains, and it's to benefit him, or some variant of him, because he does have. I feel like there is a failsafe, like multiple failsafes in this, and she's one of them.
No, she's leaning hard into that Enchantress role. That's what that is. Because Enchantress in the comics, she had relationship. She thing about Enchantress is she would use any advantage she could to get ahead, and that even means like using her own sexuality against men. But it's and it happened with Loki. And so it's at a point where it's like, okay, so because you kind of knew like this is Enchantress because her name is Sylvie, and like and they kind of rewrote it though, but this is her. This is the backstabbing ass chick who's gonna do anything she can in order to get ahead over the next person, even if that means seducing whatever man that she's using for her own ends. And it just so happened that it happened to be a version of herself, which is twisted as fuck. But yeah.
Yep.
So, so this is gonna. So usually, like, whatever power trip that she's on, that shit is not gonna last long. It won't.
Well, I mean, essentially, right now it's kind of gone because she dipped from the TVA.
Yeah,
So.
and for whatever reason, rewrote Loki's time or whatever the fuck that was, because nobody knew who he was after the fact. It was like, you're just an analyst, right? Like, no, like this is a whole Loki. This is a whole Loki variant. How did y'all forget this shit? So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see how that came about. But yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we definitely gonna get to that. But yeah, moving on. So after that whole scene, we go back to He Who Remains. Kind of like, I mean, a chunk of this episode is basically He Remains explaining how everything came to be, and then we slowly see progression of like Loki and Sylvie, like just continuous like question, like is whatever he telling us the truth, like because he just basically fed them like, here's everything that I know of every situation could possibly happen from this. I know everything. Like he's just saying there's nothing you can do right now. Just sit and chill, man. Have this tea, and listen. And so going to that the part where he was like, all right, he took his temp pad thing, whatever, and like just started to showcase, how this multiverse came to how it was and how he forms into one timeline. Or actually, no, didn't form. They did say isolate. I did remember them saying the word isolate in there, so
which I fucking called.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way in hell that there's gonna be multiple timelines and they can isolate. Like,
did.
this is like sacred time. Like, I called that shit. And I'm like, I knew it.
yeah, I was like, there's no way he ended the war. Really, more like found a way to like separate this little
He just
haven.
put his little church finger up. Be like, I'ma head out.
No,
Y'all do what you do.
You put the child lock on. That's what
We're gonna be over here.
You put the child lock on, and then the Lokis came and unlocked that bitch.
Yep.
But yeah, with that explaining, and then you see like this, it's just been multiverse. The multiverse war was just him, multiple variants of him, like just being a nigga, fighting like crazy, and just fighting for power. It's like just
the very Deadpool thing, but hey.
It was like a Loki reunion. Just everything went left.
When they were asking him for what his name is, he's like, that's too simple. So, but with that, like, who do you think he is ultimately? Like,
I know that I already know the answer.
Yeah, I've been talking about him for a while on these episodes.
Well, do you think that the variant that was there is gonna be the same one later on, or
no? This is going to be a different variant that's going to show up in the MCU later on.
Yep, yeah. Precisely. He already told you, like, yeah, there's a bad motherfucker who's like me. We're all not great. I might be an asshole, but there's a super asshole.
Right, exactly.
I'm pretty much your God right now. See,
right.
Yeah, I'm Black Jesus.
All right, are we having this conversation now, or are we gonna wait till later?
We wait till later. Yeah,
okay.
All right.
Yeah, we all peeped it. We were
because there's some implications with that shit too. So.
Oh yeah, he literally said, he said something that was just like, okay, there you go.
We tiptoeing a lot. What's the next question?
Aren't we?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead. Next question.
All right, so
like we don't want to get too deep. I'm like, but then when we gonna get in the deep end? When are we gonna dive in?
All right, so yeah, let's dive. Let's fast forward a little bit. So, they come to an impasse. The Lokis come to an impasse. Loki and Sylvie, and they end up dueling it out, and we see it happen.
knew it was happening. I'm like, ain't no way in hell this shit gonna end. This shit will end peacefully. No
and
way.
I try to give them the benefit of the doubt too with that. I was just like, no, it's just intimate. Oh, it's just, they haven't had friendships.
Like that shit.
I don't like it. It gave me Rey and Kylo vibes, and I hated it so much.
We had a whole conversation last week how we overvalue this shit. Fucking Disney.
I can't stand it. That literally, when I saw it, I was like, fucking Disney, bro. They just can't have a man and a woman in a fucking
we can't be homies
show or movie and just be homies.
Mm-hmm. So only Thor and whatever her name is,
Valkyrie, because she's gay.
I mean, that was after the fact, but they were gonna make her a love interest. And they're like, nah, they could be homies, so we can have representation.
They always got, because they got to try to entice all the genres. It's like, for the romantic people, like, because it's honestly, every Disney story has that, and it's a staple Disney thing. That's the unfortunate thing of both Marvel and DC, and I'm not DC. Lucas, Star Wars being owned by Disney is that they're under the Disney umbrella, the Disney way of things. And
they just feel like every fucking thing needs to be romantic love. Like, why can't we just have friendship love, family love, like, and that be it? Why we gotta include the romance?
I mean, but what bothered me the most,
or just a weekend at Atlantic City and just letting anything ride, like just
the close, even a Rogue One, like, they had the romanticism there, but they just didn't seal the deal. But it was like, why are you putting having this intimacy in there? Like, no, we don't need this. We
don't need to force this.
Yeah, like, we can't be platonic. Like. But what bothered me the most is that, unfortunately for Loki, is like, it's unnecessary because it reads as narcissism, but he's grown so much. So it's like, stop.
It's like backpedaling.
Exactly. For his own personality and growth, he's not thinking about himself for once. He's not thinking about the throne, but unfortunately, the person he cares for is a variant of himself.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he only cares about himself.
But it's not like that.
So it's
like,
but that's how he's gonna be. But it's not like that.
But it isn't, because they're individuals, but because of the context of how they relate to each other, it's always going to look so narcissistic. And I'm like, no, it defeats the purpose of his growth. And then he gets so heartbroken. I'm like, I'm pissed.
Yes.
But he who remains find the duology of them two very fascinating, unique. So I feel like this is their connection between is the weird intangible that is really kind of like threw everything in the air that really caught his attention to try to have them as his replacement.
That was goofy of him. Like, I don't get that part, because he gonna call out Sylvie being a hypocrite and not being able to trust. So why the fuck you think they could be co-CEOs?
Grow up. I was like, yes.
He is so eccentric, and even then I'm like, you crazy, but you right.
You right. I was just like looking at Sylvie, just like, God damn, you really did throw it all the way, the whole timeline, bro, because you need some revenge. I get it. You had to hide in apocalypses and all that stuff. Suck. You had a terrible childhood. I get you. Get it.
What's funny is I saw a tweet, and like it had the scene of like He Who Remains and Sylvie in that room together after Loki got kicked out and shit. And like the caption was like Sylvie dead ass just caused 10 years worth of problems for Marvel Universe. So damn.
Dre, are we thinking the same? Oh, go ahead.
But one more note. I hate how this episode is like self-prophesizing, because Loki's all you do is call death and destruction.
Yes.
And what the fuck happens with fucking Sylvie? And then old Loki said, whatever Loki tried to do better for himself, shit pops off.
Yes.
But it wasn't our Loki fucking it up this time around. What the hell?
I mean, we already saw that they damn near fucked themselves into a new variant timeline. So I don't know. Yeah. So the whole relationship was already kind of doomed to start almost.
Yeah.
Doomed from the start. I mean,
not even just their relationship. The fact that things still happen how they happen. Nothing really changed. Our Loki changed, but Sylvie didn't. So the same goddamn parameters that Lokis have been running on, she's calling herself Sylvie as if she's not a Loki. But bitch, you played a Loki card. You did some Loki ass shit. I mean, you a roach of the universe, bitch.
as much she tried to separate herself from being a Loki variant, being Sylvie, and trying to have her own identity, so yeah, she ended up pulling a Loki.
They should do a comedy skit of this shit, like in like just an episode of Divorce Court, just to see how that shit plays out.
With Judge Joe Mathis.
So what you telling me? You telling me that y'all the same person? What the fuck?
You a crackhead.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He says crackhead at least once in an episode.
But yeah, with Sylvie tricking Loki and sending him back to the TVA, and then killing He Who Remains, and then fucking up the whole timeline. With her being there by herself, what do you think she's gonna do next? What do you think her next step is from that?
Oh, we know the first thing she did was erase any knowledge of like Loki from
it took me a
variant, like of the TVA, because Mobius did not recognize him.
But how do you know if that's her though?
Yeah,
because the branches just started fucking
branching off. Branch off and then branching to more branches.
And she just didn't know where she threw him into. It's just like, nigga, get out.
How would she have the power to do that shit?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Whatever fuck control pad that He Who Remains was holding, because she held that shit right after like she kicked him through and shit. Well, and like it's way too convenient, because there's really no logical explanation beyond that happening, that that suddenly the TVA will lose all information, like all memory of who Loki was, even though he's the one who more or less sent Mobius on his path of trying to correct shit. So it doesn't make sense.
Or is that by the time it's back there, it's already diverged. So like
that's what I
thought.
Yeah,
the part of them meeting.
Not what I thought. That's what I think.
But we don't even know where on the timeline the TVA exists, because it exists in a place where like normal shit is not possible. Like the Infinity Stone shit, it exists. We don't know where it exists on the timeline. If it exists adjacent to it, outside
probably
of it,
pocket.
That's the thing. So.
But if it branches off, when we have multiple TVAs,
no, it's like all the other timelines branches off, and the TV's going in pandemonium.
I think it's like at some sort of like, I don't know, access, or like some sort of point where the TVA only exists as the TVA and there's no variant of it. It wouldn't make sense.
I think that TVA is just a constant. Variants just trickle in and they fill up the workforce.
Yeah, that's more what I'm. Yeah.
I just understand, what benefit do you get of erasing Loki's memories of Loki when everybody else know that they're variants?
Give him a chance to not be a Loki.
Or those variants of Mobius. I mean, that Mobius and the guards those are different variants that never met Loki.
No,
I'm like, if Sylvie intentionally cleared him out, what's the purpose of it? So nobody knew that Sylvie fucked up the timeline.
Because the whole thing about Loki's, the one thing about he's been saying about Loki's from the start is like, yo, they always destined to fail. They're always destined to be,
but they don't die.
For other people's, to boost other people's greatness and shit. And like, that's like if like any knowledge of Loki's been erased and shit, that's a chance for him to be something other than, just Loki. There's an opportunity in that. So I think that's going to be that. I think just because we've seen Loki change here, this isn't going to be like the end of his like evolution as a character. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what that is.
Yeah, I just don't think it was Sylvie that purposely like erase whatever part of like Mobius and them knowing who Loki is and vice versa. Well, yeah,
I agree with you, Ken.
Because it was He Who Remains that's the statue is of him at the end. It's like why would she do that, but have him if he's in charge of the TV?
Because she didn't even believe anything this nigga said. The whole time.
Like she
so
thought,
it was
yeah,
just like. why throw him in a timeline where he actually exists as the leader of the TVA? So I just think she threw him back, not knowing that all of these timelines are branched out, and she just fucked up. Or I mean, I really don't know, because all this shit is confusing to me. But maybe they forgot, or these are different variants,
or maybe maybe the timeline itself changed, because
right,
yeah,
one of those because those statues at the end, the one with the timekeepers,
it wasn't always
changed.
him.
No, it changed.
It was the three lizards.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like
that's what I'm saying.
So maybe the timeline changed.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it was Sylvia. I think it's because of her, because she bited the motherfucker.
You gotta think about it, right? The main timeline had one TVA. Now, if we have multiple different timelines, why would we have multiple TVAs?
Because I think like maybe he's not in an exact same
TVA. So he's in a whole goddamn universe. That's what you're thinking. I mean, you think she yeeted him in a different universe?
That could be an option.
And didn't know. Yeah, she was just like, let me get him out.
Yeah, that's too much.
She didn't program the coordinates and stuff in that temp pad. That was all pre-placed by He Who Remains. And he mentioned that. He's like, I already know everything.
She had no time to go like this.
Yeah.
I'm about to put you in here.
This feels like high conversation, Joe. I hate time travel.
But lastly, like the question why, because he also mentioned that he was the variant that managed to find the Oscaloth and learn how to control him. So now that she's left there with his notes, it's like, that's what I was wondering, like, what you guys would think, because I was thinking, with that potential power she has of learning how to control that beast, and then
Sylvie needs her ass whooped, bro.
Bro, she made me so bad. Oh, I was so mad at her. I was just like, really? Like, because you had a shitty childhood, you're willing to do this?
I mean,
you had all the juice and you fucked it up.
God, you could have been in charge of the TVA.
But does it really surprise you? No. She wanted to take down the TVA.
Yes,
he told him the whole time. It's like, yeah, your intention to take down the TVA, that was intentional. I brought you here.
No, the minute Buddy said there's new niggas on the horizon and I'm keeping them back, that's when I knew, this bitch about to break the levees. That's what was going to happen. I'm like, it's a wrap. We don't know how it's going to happen, but this nigga's not going to live past this scene.
I was like, there's no level. Sorry.
She was just pissed because there was no free will. Even with her act of rebellion, that was not yours to make. That was designed.
Literally the nigga who once remained. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Once remained.
I'm not surprised. It's just it was just painful to watch her just not listen to Loki, to pretty much cut him off. Because he's like, I just want to make sure that you're okay. Fuck everything else. But this is... He's like, this is bigger than both of us.
Yes.
We got to think for a minute.
Yeah, he's like,
he thought that he wanted the throne, but that was Loki thing all the Loki we know.
That ain't that smart. I thought we established that.
He's not the more intelligent Loki.
Think that far in advance.
Oh, he don't. He legit bailed for Sylvie, but she was just like, I don't trust you. She don't trust nobody. And then, nobody trusts Loki. So it made sense. That's why I like that line. But it still just it still was just frustrating, because I always felt like Sylvie was way smarter than our version of Loki. But that wasn't a smart decision. It was a selfish decision. And I was just like, I guess, but I don't like it.
I don't know if I'd say smarter, but definitely more ambitious.
It's like, she's an analyst, but that don't mean she has wisdom.
No, she don't really have wisdom. She's more.
She's an analyst, but she doesn't have wisdom.
Yeah.
Loki I mean, as I think about
it, she's been by herself the whole time.
Loki saw his whole entire life and how all his bullshit
led him to getting his neck snapped. So
1-800 choke that hoe. Like, it amounted to nothing. He inadvertently killed his mother. So he's like, he gets it. He even told Sylvie, I know where you are. I've been there. Yes. You're technically a regressed version of me. You might be a bit more wittier, but I get it.
Yeah.
He had gained wisdom. She hasn't gained any wiser. which just makes me wonder why the fuck he thought they were gonna be applicable to be co-CEOs. You know she don't trust anybody. You know she hasn't grown. He's like, you can't get to the end if you haven't been changed by the journey. Like, you know she hasn't.
Oh, I like that line.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe I think he was kind of plotting that because he did also plant the seeds in there. He did tell like, oh, can you trust him? But like, can you ever trust anyone? Like he planted the seeds in there too that kind of helped him jump into that conflict. So
I think
like,
he just wanted to die. I think he just wanted to go.
He probably because he knew that his knowledge was ending or that they were going, it was coming to an end. So he wanted to, I guess.
And he knew he'll be back. A version of himself would be back. So it was just like, I've been at this for a while. Like, go ahead and whatever.
I'm tired.
Will ensue chaos.
I'm tired.
I heard that song. You're bad.
But yeah, like I feel like it was kind of plotted by him in a sense, but I think is that duology between those two Lokis that he may see as like the key overall. Like it's
the potential.
It's like the highest potential. Like it's because he doesn't know past that point. They had the best potential to like help piece it back together or continue on afterwards. But
he forgot he was dealing with motherfucking Lokis.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because
bruh.
Well, I mean, maybe it was a Loki variant that helped him win the war before.
Oh, I guess we'll see in the future, right?
Which, I mean, it comes at the end of the end credits is where they like stamp literally confirm season 2.
So I wonder how this is gonna work out because I'm assuming we're gonna get multiverse of madness. Which Loki's gonna be in there? What Loki? Which Loki?
Yes.
Where Loki?
That's the answer.
I feel
yes.
like both. I think both will be in there.
This is a Doctor Strange movie, so this is after Infinity War. After Endgame. So this is definitely a time. That's definitely a timeline where Loki is dead. So I mean, if this variant of Loki, he might show up.
I just wonder how that connects with his series and how you're going to jump out and be over there. Like how we connecting branches, because you connected this to an extended universe, a universal issue that's going to influence multiple movies, and now we got a TV series too. How are we going to double back?
Because what's the name is showing up in the new the next Ant-Man, yeah,
Kang the Conqueror,
exactly.
Next Ant-Man. So
and then there's a lot of implication behind that too. So, all right, fuck it, I'll say it.
Do it.
King the Conqueror is a version of what's buddy name? Nathaniel.
God.
No, he's not a god.
I mean, I think he's not, but he's playing God right now. That's what I meant.
No, King the Conqueror is it's not this. He's a variant of of a guy named Nathaniel Richards.
Are you going? Oh, you giving me comics lore?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's a variant of Nathaniel Richards. Nathaniel Richards is the father of Reed Richards. It's Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
That's the implication.
Okay.
So if Nathaniel Richards exists, there's a chance that fucking Reed Richards exists. If Reed Richards exists, Fantastic Four, because they kind of implied that shit at when they did that a couple months ago when they did like the Phase 4 trailer. It kind of ended off with the implication that Fantastic Four was going to show up because Disney does have the rights for that shit again. So I think that's going to be the implication that that's what they're playing. Like they're gonna be doing a fucking Fantastic Four movie.
Another Fantastic Four.
Another one.
Which
I sound like an exhausted DJ Khaled. That's be the third movie.
Yeah, and that would also mean that Reed Richards
great value DJ Khaled.
that would also mean that Reed Richards is black. So
yes, he gonna be black today. He gonna be black today. Gang.
So yeah, it's like that.
Shout out to these dark-skinned actors in fucking MCU. I am so here for it. I'm like, ooh,
get your money.
It's about time.
It's about time.
Damn, even Tick couldn't survive this. Ain't that
What was your impression of his performance? I'm like, okay, it's the Wizard of Oz, but he actually can do shit with your eccentric ass.
Very eccentric. I don't really have any like baseline to go off from. I fucked with it. But like some people I heard online, it's like it was too eccentric and it wasn't menacing enough. And I don't know. I thought it was fine.
He wasn't menacing. He's more like he was devil's advocate. He's just like he's trying to do the lesser evil.
Messy.
Yeah. It's just...
I mean,
I'd be crazy too if I knew what
Yes,
everything that would happen
period.
would ever be.
Exactly.
Like I'd be on so much bullshit just to be. Yo, this is basic. This nigga is basically Doctor Who. He just doesn't travel time because what's the point? Like the nigga, he already knows what happens. So it's like, bro, I'm a chill and and plus, if all I got to keep me company and jerk me off is Miss Minute, bro, I'd be mad too. Like,
Full circle, huh? Full circle.
And just like the time.
you know what? on that note, it's like, how does time work for him? How long he been in that castle? Like, how long was the damn war for him? Like, first he could go cuckoo.
He said he lived a long time, like eons. They use was it eons or eras? They use that word eons. They use quite a bit.
Eons.
He lived a lot of lifetimes. I'm like, yeah, you go crazy. It's just you in your head getting writing down everything that people ever did. Yeah, that's your only company.
Yeah, that is.
He made her for specific reason.
And a holographic coin or whatever the fuck. I'm like, bro,
she's a clock. A golden clock.
Yeah, that don't look like no clock. That's like a whole fucking coin, bro.
Pesos. I'm mad that like while she working for him, she's giving everybody else half-ass information. It's like, hey y'all, I was busy.
No, don't tell them niggas shit. All right, bet.
It was a multi-war with the time wizard. Like, what?
He was like, he who remains. She still call me that?
It is weird, but like, I fucks with it. That's his only friend, you know.
That's definitely his only friend.
No new friends. I guess Drake stuck with him. That anthem transcending time, huh?
I got everything.
But yeah, so
he who remains, bitch, shut the fuck up. I got
Hey.
Hey, and look,
Turn us up,
I bet
too.
you
We
got a
to
nice
turn
sound
up.
system in that castle.
Oh my. You know
All
what
the-
he
all the-
probably do? He probably in there, Billy Rock every block.
In the elevator.
I mean, he had a
Let
little
me go
swag
see
on.
the Lokis real quick.
You know,
He
black
had a
folks
little,
know how
like,
to turn up. No matter who in the room, we could be by ourselves.
He
Niggas
probably
in
on
the
that desk.
room.
He had a young Lando swag to him, kind of like.
He definitely did.
I was like,
I'm with it.
Yep. Next question. Is it prediction time? Prediction time.
Yeah.
Can we?
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
Since
I
we
guess.
already said that they dropped season 2 confirmed. Now we have a whole nother season to look forward to.
I'm
Two
not
things.
ready.
One, do you think this season will come out next year on time, or you think it's gonna be delayed to like tie into afterwards or before any specific movies, or did you what you would think of like the time frame is for it, and then two, what do you think's gonna happen, or whatever you think.
Oh, what a convoluted question.
Open door.
Okay, because
I mean, it's just like the timeline.
Okay, because I'm just like, all right, Doctor Strange come out March 2022, right? So
I
I'm
gotta
like,
wait next year to get some kind of substance after
don't
this
know.
motherfuckery.
If like, I guess Loki would have to come out afterwards because Ant-Man Ant-Man next movie, I don't know the name of it. Will be
Ant-Man
coming
and that
out.
Quantumanium or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. After Doctor Strange. So I'm thinking maybe Loki's gonna fit in between the Doctor Strange movie and the next Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, Ant-Man come out in 2023.
Yeah. So
Damn.
it's gonna be a minute. So
That's a
we might-
gap.
I just don't know.
I don't know how they'll play into each other. That's my only thing.
exactly. I can't really connect the dots with that. But timeline wise, I believe that's where it's gonna fall in. Prediction? Oh, you said prediction for season 2, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, nigga. I don't know. Go to the next person. I have no idea.
It's like everything is in disarray. And so it's like, I think Doctor Strange is going to set up how Loki 2 is going to be like. They said a lot of things that's supposed to happen this season that didn't. So I don't know if they already finished filming in entirety and they just cut the fucking season in half. Like, hey, we got 2 seasons. Here you go. Because they're talking about it's supposed to be dealing with Loki transformation and shapeshift. And I'm like, you didn't do none of that shit here.
No.
So y'all already filmed season 2? Y'all just chopped that shit in half. I'm like, here you go.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, that man Loki did not use as much magic as I thought he would.
At all.
No, the magic was really at the end when they started fighting each other. When he started fighting himself. They're both using the magic on each other. But
so I don't know if, how I'm sure the shit's already planned out, but how much has already been in production and is in post. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna feed into each other. All I know, Doctor Strange is sweating bullets. He said, "Y'all just start fucking shit up."
I could, he don't even
we just took a nap.
His emotion on his sleeves, bro. He's about to be pissed about this shit. It's like he's the only one that can really go and do something about it. I guess maybe he's gonna have to, team up with Wanda. But Wanda on her own agenda right now. She's trying to get her boo back and she trying to get her kids back. She ain't got time to be dealing with this multiverse and shit.
She ain't getting them kids back.
Little Tamagotchis.
She gonna get them kids back. She gonna get them babies back.
They were never real to begin with. She ain't getting them bitches back.
I don't know how strong she is.
Unless it's another.
She's hearing voices. So I don't know.
She gonna get them babies from a whole nother multiverse.
Oh, adopt them from another multiverse.
Just exacerbates the problem. Damn. She might get Pietro back because if the timeline's a conversion, we gonna see mutants in a minute.
Wait, so how did she make these goddamn babies with her non-existent dead husband? She's just bibbity boppity boo these people together.
Yes.
I heard she's really fucking strong though. Like I just don't know how. Like I don't know the extent of her powers.
She wiped out. She wiped out 99% of all mutants with a flick of a wrist one time.
So you don't think she could get her little babies back? You don't think she could get her babies?
Hell no.
From another multiverse? She probably be like, "Yay, multiverse! Well, I can go and get my kids."
Well, that would imply that would imply that they ever existed at all. Usually, if you got it, usually they would exist like from the start. Like she made them out of thin air. I don't think they're gonna be in other realities.
Well, why not?
But she hears them though. That's what happened at the end of WandaVision. She hears them calling for help. It's just like, wait a minute, they messing up my study break, kids.
Right, my babies. And what if it was thing?
If Wanda goes down the yellow brick road, meet the Wizard of Oz, and find out they got the kids, I'm gonna be highly upset.
I'm sure they're gonna explain it well because they're planning this shit out, and hopefully they explain it well. But I think she's gonna find her kids, and she ain't gonna give a fuck about Doctor Strange mission on getting all of this shit.
Wanda, you must go back. Excuse you,
nigga. What?
These are my kids.
Gonna get my kids. The fuck, and then they gonna have a little situation.
That's like telling a mom at work that she can't be on the phone to check on her kids at daycare. Like, excuse you, I gotta check on my kids. Right? I need my phone.
Wanda's gonna get her kids, so I don't know. Dr. Strange gonna have to wait.
She gonna put her jammies on, back in her robe. She's like, excuse you, don't fuck on me and my 90s sitcom. Get my kids.
Yeah, really that era.
And I'm gonna find White Vision later. Whatever the fuck Vision fucked off to, just
whatever.
The whole nother find a whole nother Vision.
In another multiverse. All right, I'm gonna take you.
No, you mean Vashon.
I see different.
Vashon.
We gotta accent on this Vashon.
I saw that meme. I was like, damn. Wanda, get Vashon. And I know Vision, get Vashon.
Vashon will leave you with some goddamn babies.
He probably
fuck off into a multiverse.
Probably got some good, you know what? That's all I'm saying.
Sound like he wore
we
Timberlands.
Could be on the side. He wore and the gold chain and the black turtleneck. And a do-rag. Yes. Toxic man. I ain't got one. I got a nerd, which I love.
Like I know a fuck boy when I see one.
Oh yeah,
That is
back
one.
in the day, bro, that was the uniform. I was like,
But I damn. Well, is that your prediction, Brittany?
yes, Wanda's gonna vibe and shine.
She gonna have baby daddy issues.
Relax.
A different type of baby daddy
Fucking-
issues.
Damn, you thirsty ass.
Multiversal baby daddy issues. That's
And then Dr. Strange be like, what are we doing right now? This is the MCU.
Can you imagine
Turn
just
into love and
sleeping,
hip hop.
and then you heard the MCU just fucked up? Like, excuse me?
And it'd be like, hey, your name is Doctor Strange. How's this not surprising?
Exactly.
I mean, how's this surprising?
Speaking of, okay, the multiverse. What do y'all think? I'm sorry, Kim, taking over your job for like a hot 2 seconds.
No, go ahead.
Okay, the Sony, the Spider-Man movies. Do y'all think now, knowing this information, we go see Tobey Maguire and Andrew
I
Garfield?
thought that was already suspected already.
It is
Somebody aired
suspected,
that
but
movie.
like it was never confirmed. But now after this season, like, do y'all really think? Okay,
I mean,
it'll
I don't
be.
know if I want it, to be honest.
That's another question. Do I want it? Do I see it?
Nah.
I mean, I thought I saw it when they did the Into the Spider-Verse, movie. Like they want to do that shit real.
And that turned out really well. Overall when it came to reviews and revenue
They like,
and stuff.
why not do that in the MCU?
Yeah, I mean, and then therefore they could feed on. It's a way for them to add feed to the fan service, basically.
No.
Oh, definitely
but those
fan
other
service.
Spider-Mans are kind of underwhelming for me. So do I need them? Not at
Well,
all.
because that ongoing debate, like which Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man, they've always been like debating that. Well, if you bring them all in the same time, then it doesn't matter.
I don't think they're gonna triple dip like that. That shit, that's excessive.
Yeah, well, it's because like the gap right now is because like
Sony ain't got the chops. Oh my bad. Sony ain't got the chops to pull that off.
Well, wouldn't it be
But
Sony?
would it
wouldn't
be
be
in
Sony.
MCU? It would be in
It'd be
MCU.
Disney. Sony just want to make sure they get they cut. That's how we almost didn't get another goddamn Spider-Man movie.
What they get?
Exactly.
What is 50%? What's we get?
No, it'd be Sony producing it.
Really?
I don't think.
No, yes, that's how it's always been.
Sony produced it and Disney just distributed.
Sony, no.
We're talking about if they're coming into the MCU, like how they take Tom Holland and he's technically in the MCU, but he's owned by Sony. But not a Spider-Man movie.
Sony's produced all the Spider-Man, produced those.
But I'm not
Spider-Man
saying the
movies.
Spider-Man movies. I'm saying that this would be in whatever MCU multiverse movie, whatever the case may be, not a Sony movie. Because if it was a Sony movie, then I wouldn't.
No, if they have to include that character within other shit, it couldn't be a Spider-Man movie. They would have to,
exactly.
Yeah, that in that case they may do it, but they have to negotiate that shit.
I'm sure because ultimately what Sony wants is money. And
hell yeah,
and like it's like okay,
because they can't produce a good fucking Spider-Man movie to say they like.
They're like okay, we'll own Spider-Man still, but like if you just do the work, but we get a cut from it, then we're fine with that. That's how what's going on so far.
They split the production in Homecoming. Both Disney and Sony kind of went half on that shit. It's just who's get what proceeds.
Creative parts though. That's why I'm curious.
Disney does creative. Sony does production.
Yeah, it put some money in, and like we need that cut, not just ticket sales. We want some of that merch. And Disney like, bitch, no.
Well, we'll see, I guess. But yeah,
because the whole thing started was when Disney wanted to get more money. When they need more. No, it was when it started after was it Far From Home? When like talks break down and it looked like we weren't getting a new Spider-Man movie and shit, because Disney was like, no, let's renegotiate this shit, and Sony just like, nah, because Sony was basically making all the money from the shit because they own the film rights to it. So
You know what's funny about the whole situation was I guess I didn't realize this wasn't main news to like the general public. Mm-hmm. So I went to work and I was like, girl, did y'all hear about the whole Sony and SpiderMan situation with Disney? And everybody was looking at me like,
yeah.
And I was like, oh. I guess
that was me. I'm like, damn. That was you too?
All right.
We ain't gonna get no Spider-Man movie because I thought
exactly.
I didn't know it was Disney. I didn't know Disney was having a problem trying to get a bigger cut. I thought Sony was trying to get a bigger cut of the merch money. So they was only getting ticket sales money.
No, it's Disney who wanted the bigger cut.
Okay.
Because they weren't making that much off of Spider-Man. Off Spider-Man movies in particular.
They make so much off of everything.
Yeah, I mean,
girl, this is Disney. Disney put the stop of any Baby Yoda merch Disney. That came out before they can drop some merch. You can't even set nothing Loki right now without Disney sending you a cease and desist form. That mouse will crawl up your ass in a heartbeat.
Imagine, I mean, I kind of get it, but it's kind of like, bro, imagine if you had to, there's like a locked room in your house and shit. You live there and shit though, but you always got to talk to some other motherfucker in order to get inside this room. That shit would get tiring after a while, and that's essentially what happens. Disney has to constantly negotiate to use Spider-Man in Marvel movies, but Sony can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want with Spider-Man if they want. That's how we got Venom for whatever reason, because they
another one on the way.
Yeah, so I kind of get the logic behind it though, but it's kind of like, damn, y'all kind of letting this shit like just go to shit because of greed. And it took Tom Holland to drunk dial one of these motherfucking executives to save the shit. So I don't know, bro.
That's why I got a soft spot for Tom Holland. He's like, bro,
I just want to play Spider-Man.
I just want to be Spider-Man.
Y'all fucking with my money. I need this job. God damn it.
No, he's like, hey, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here. Hopefully, you know.
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stork. They're not gonna make another movie.
Faded.
If y'all take this job from me, I'm gonna start doing hand jobs like Miss Minute.
One more time.
I ain't gonna let that shit go.
I hate it so much.
Just when I saw her, I'm like, I know she ain't running the fucking TVA. I was joking. I ain't mean that shit for real.
Running that shit.
Oh no, man, you can't. I can't imagine that motherfucker being in that fucking castle for all eternity and looking at this minute and being like, "What you doing?
Hey,
you got plans? Don't say that.
I gotta give her this smile. I'll be back."
No, he's like, "Oh, you got 2 extra pair of hands, huh?"
Right? You get tired of your own hand after a while.
No, it's because she got the regular hands and she got her hour and minute hands.
Oh my God! All right, let's wrap
this up. She just nudging it.
Wrap this up.
Hey, Miss Minute, bring your ass in here. I'm gonna run the clock out.
Well,
she a timer or stopwatch.
Y'all knew who I was. Don't shut up.
That's what happened when you've been in quarantine.
Boy, don't even get me started.
Like, I got time for this.
Do you really?
Miss Minute does.
She got all the time.
Open the door and he walked right through that shit.
I can't.
This is why these videos aren't meant for children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have to put that setting on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I was especially on bullshit this episode. Let's not.
That's about every episode. But yeah, with that wraps up this first season of Loki. As we are going to have a second season at some point. So until that comes out, or until we get some more news, I guess that's it for now for Loki. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. For those who have, thank you. And for those who haven't, go ahead and do it. But yeah, that's our Echo 4 episode 6 of Loki for all time.
Always.
And with that,
fun show. I had a good time.
Yeah, I loved it. It was good. Actually, we'll get to it, but yeah, I really.
Yes, it was a good ride.
Yeah. But Echo 4 out here signing out. Deuces.
Deuces.